Moderate.
Uh, Hi, guys, and welcome to the Gin and Tonic Show. We help Muslims and non Muslims to handle Islam in the 21st century. My name is Mustafa, and this is my co host in the nick of time. If you wish to talk about Islam, the ideology, you have come to the right place. We cover current Islamic news, Islamic scripture, some crazy comments, and a weekly topic about Islam to examine, critique, and analyze. If this is not enough Islam for you, please drop by our Discord to discuss any further questions about Islam. We condemn any form of discrimination, violence, misogyny, slavery. However, we do embrace free speech and criticism if it's factual and correct. Thank you for stopping by and enjoy the Gin and Tonic Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gin and Tonic Show, and hello, Nikhil.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. You and I were. My name's Moose Starfa, or you can just simply call me Moose. And today we have a very interesting episode for you. But yeah, Nikhil and I were just discussing about how spineless, some people have to be, you know, to justify a violent reaction towards words.
Yeah. But again, you gotta admit, Salman Rushdie should have kept Jada Pinkett Smith's name out of his fucking mouth.
You mean to say, hey, wait, I think, are we talking about the same person? Wait, so no, Chris Rock did not write the Satanic Verses.
It's
What?
just.
Why are you
Well, no.
confusing the people?
Yeah.
And the win of the Romans. It's not exactly a prophecy. It's not a divine origin at all. Like, it's just when the Romans lost. Like, the Quran was written way after, so it's not exactly like a prophecy by any means. And you don't have to be an expert to know, like, hey, the Romans are gonna win. Like, it's just the battle was in favor of the Romans, like the situation. So you can even tell by the new, like, can you not tell like what the battle is gonna be by divine origin? Or, you could just have a good prediction. It's 50-50.
Speaking
So,
of prophecy, I actually got a really cool, crazy comment. So
oh
why don't we
yeah.
just do the crazy comments, and then we'll go into.
Our vid- Oh yes, I missed that. I forget to do that jingle. I really forget to do that jingle.
Yeah, so the first one, it's actually going to be on the video that we want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this is totally unrelated to the video. So let's just go through this quickly, and then we can go into some of the memes that you sent me.
Okay. So wait. So Quran contains many prophecies. Wait, it's a cure for Islamophobia. I love that the title of the name. Many prophecies that have been first to noteworthy, unlike any other scripture. The Quran prophesies its own preservation under divine care will demonstrate how it actually occurred. Protection of Quran from corruption. The Quran makes a claim no other religious text makes. The God Himself will keep its text safe from alteration. But then there was alteration because there were variants. That is an alteration. Not only were there variants, but you added grammar. You actually had different versions that were actually burned down. So there's already corruption going on within 20 years. God says, Behold, it is we who ourselves gradually reveal this reminder, and behold, it is we who do this. This is Quran verse. The ease of memorizing the Quran, God has made the Quran easy to memorize. You can memorize anything, and it's pretty easy. Like, and in truth, we have made the Quran easy to remember. Who then is willing to take it to heart? Like, I can remember the national anthem. That doesn't make it of a divine origin either, does it? Like I know the Canadian national anthem by heart, and I know the Pakistani national anthem by heart, and I might
Hey, how
even know
about
the
this? How about this? Just to piss off some people, next week we'll memorize satanic verses and we'll
yeah,
sing it on gin and tonic.
yeah, we could do that. Or We can even do the satanic verses incident as well. We'll talk about that, but we'll memorize things and then we'll say it out of memory. Now, the ease with the Quran is inimitable. There's not a single scripture or religious text in the world that is as easy to memorize. Even non-Arabs and children commit to memory. They don't commit to it. You have to take classes for it. One, you're taking classes for it. If you're going to memorize a poem, like I could memorize poems by Shakespeare and John Keats. Heck, I remember John Keats's poem really well. Like there's the one about the nightingale, and then there's one about La Belle Dame sans merci, happy enthrall. So there's that. And then people remember Psalms by heart, which is a Christian text and a Jewish text as well. The entire Quran is memorized by almost Islamic. Every Islam and hundreds of thousands of ordinary Muslims, generation after generation. Well, the reason they're not exactly memorizing the Quran, they're memorizing verse, like the chapters that are essential for the prayer, like Surah Al-Fatiha, for example, which is the easiest to remember. But these are the only surahs that are easy to remember. Surah Fatiha, the quls, the different quls, and certain little surahs towards the end, like Laylatul Qadr, for example, the one about Laylatul Qadr. But that's it. Like the other chapters are very hard to remember. Almost every Muslim has some portion memorized to read in his prayers. Yeah, that's true. But then that doesn't, it's just easy to remember. Oh, I hate this so much. Before the rise of Islam, the Persians were competing superpowers. Romans were led by Heraclius, Christian emperor, and Zoroastrians, Khosrow Parvez. So yeah, there was this war going on. In 1614, Persians conquered Syria and Palestine, taking Jerusalem, destroying the Holy Sepulchre, the True Cross in 619 or 617. The Muslims were grieved by the Roman defeat and they felt spiritually closer to Christian Rome than Zoroastrian. But the Mexicans were naturally buoyed up by the victory of the pagan Persia. No, they weren't. They were actually allies of Heraclius. To Meccans, the Roman humiliation was a sinister omen of defeat of the Muslim at pagan hands. At the time, God's prophecy comforted the faithful. Here's the problem. Abu Sufyan himself went to Heraclius for help in your Sahih al-Bukhari. So Meccans weren't exactly pissed off about this. They were just like, they weren't exactly like allies with who believed and who didn't believe anything. The Romans have been defeated, the land close by, but they, even after defeat, will soon be victorious within 10 years. Now, here's the problem. He says within 10 years, but when was this written? God, with this decision in the past that shall help. He doesn't specify the time, within 10 years. It's very vague. You can just say within 10 years. And not only that, the Quran made the prophecy of two victories. The future Roman victory is something unimaginable. No, the Romans did have the upper hand. People could tell. The Romans that's a big empire. Romans can, it's a 50-50. Romans could actually beat the Persians. And the joy and faithful victory over the pagans. Okay, that's in 622. That's 3 years now left as prayers rose. There's many sanctuaries. Request he and reconquest of Jerusalem. 3 years devoted the next three campaigns of Armenia, and then in 627 he met the Persians there. That's three battles right there. A month later, entered Dastagir and its stupendous treasure. Khosrow was overthrown by his son, who made peace with Heraclius. It's just more of a stalemate. Like, after returning to Constantinople in triumph, was hailed as a hero. Muslims defeated and first declared decisive battle of Badr. And that was the words of an Indian scholar, a single of the line of prophecy with the four nations, the fate of two empires. All this proves Holy Quran to be a book of God. Oh, shut up. It doesn't prove anything. It could even be a book that can predict, like we can predict the weather too. We can predict the weather. So the prophecy of pagan defeat would go down. The Quran predicted the defeat of unbelievers in Mecca while Prophet Muhammad and his followers were still being persecuted by them. Or do they, Meccan disbelievers, say that we are the great multitude, we shall be victorious? Their multitude will be defeated and they shall turn their backs in flight. Prophecy was revealed in Mecca but was fulfilled in the Battle of Badr, 2 years after the Prophet's migration to the city of Medina. And it's weird that Muhammad was the one who actually started this fight too. So it was, and then fate of specific Walid bin. It's okay. Walid was a staunch enemy. It's nothing but magic derived from this book. Soon I will cast him to fire. Okay, that's very big of a stretch. That could be anybody. It leaves nor, because it could not even be talking about Walid ibn Mughira. It could be talking about um, anybody else. Walid died in a state of disbelief as prophesied by the Quran. No, it could be anybody. It's so vague. Also concerning Abu Lahab, a fiery opponent. Yeah, may the hands of Abu Lahab perish. Basically, Abu Lahab surah, if you read it, it sounds like Muhammad is just salty. He's very salty that Abu Lahab called him out on his stuff. Like all Abu Lahab, like when he gathers, like, oh, I'm warning you everybody, and Abu Lahab is like, why are you wasting our time? And there's a hadith about it. The hadith literally states that. So, three prophecies, man. The conspiracy of Abu Lahab would not succeed. His wealth and children would not benefit him. He would die opposing and enter the fire. Okay, so what? He would just die, but we don't know if he saw enter the fire or not. We don't know. We don't know what happens in the afterlife. So that's not exactly a prophecy fulfilled. Abu Lahab also died, and as prophesied, had Ali accepted Islam, this would have disproved its prophecy, and thus, oh no. It just shows that, it is the author of the Quran probably had something against these two guys. And then the other two sons and a daughter embraced and frustrated his hopes. Finally, he died of a plague. People did not touch it out of fear of contamination and dumped mud and stones on him when he died to make his grave. Okay, well, the Quran never states that. A key foundation in believing that a scripture is actually a revelation is internal truth, whether in regards to occurrences of the past, come in the future, or contemporary ages. As one can see, there are many prophecies mentioned. Oh no, some which are fulfilled in the prophet's lifetime, some since his death, while others are yet to. Okay, here's the problem with the yet to appear. They haven't happened. Nothing happened, or some of them already happened and nothing happened. And then there's so many claimed prophecies. First of all, when the Battle of the Romans took place in 624 and 627, the Quran's final text was codified in the time of Usman. The first text was written in 634. That's 7 years after the battle. That's 7 years. You can't call that a prophecy if it's written 7 years after the prophecy already happened, and then claim it was predicted. Then 10 years after, it's written in the time of 10, 20 years after the time of Usman, it's codified. So we've already seen a development, and we have 27 years later, 23 to 27 years later, the Quran is finalized. And then it's making a prophecy. It's making a prophecy too late. It's making the prophecy 20 plus years after the event. So that's pretty bullshit. I'm so sorry. That is bullshit. So I don't give me that bullshit of, it's predicting all these events happening, but it doesn't. So sorry I went on that rant. My apologies.
No worries.
So, but yeah, I think there was another, there's a few points he raised, like Walid ibn Mughira. First of all, the Quran doesn't mention Walid. Walid is never mentioned. So you should mention the person by name and what exactly is going to happen. This is a very vague thing. It's extremely vague. Even Abu Lahab, it's just, if you read the surah, it just sounds like the Quran's cursing this guy because it has something personal against him. So, quiet, doorknob, quiet. I know I'm ruining your prophecies for it, but I mean, Mom, don't call me mother. Call me mother. Call me mother. Not mom, mother.
Hey, I got a question, Moose. How about we make a prophecy? Tonight I will attack a Taco Bell and eat 12 burritos. Let's see. I prophesize that after I do that, the next morning I'll get explosive diarrhea.
That's prophecy, but is that prophecy of divine origin? So
The
did we.
the divinity is Taco Bell's CEO or Colonel Sanders, whichever one you
Yeah,
prefer.
but we will see that it was of his prophecy of a divine origin. Nick is talking to a god, so and that's how he's predicting it. So we can make predictions, and even the battle predictions. Rome is a pretty big empire. Like I said, it had the best military of its time. And why would it not win? Especially when it had its allies, the Hassanids, on its side too. So you had even Arab allies as well. So yeah, basically, Puya, you're saying it. Divine origin is literally coming out of their ass. Basically, it's literally coming out of their ass of this so-called, oh, we fulfilled the prophecy. No, it didn't. Wrote it.
Oh yeah, so the Taco Bell thing, it's gonna be coming out of my ass. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I think you had another few more comments.
yeah, you sent me a few photos on
Not
WhatsApp as well.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, culture Ginny. I'm talking about the time of the war with the Persians, not after, during. So if you're making a prophecy then, it's pretty bad because you can see that the Romans do have superior weapons and superior armies, but later they get weaker, sure. But at this moment, no, the Persians are on the losing side at this point. But yeah, so yes, you have the comment.
Yes, that was the comment that I mentioned. That was on the video that we were supposed to react to today.
Oh yeah. Wait, I sent you a few memes too, or you sent
Yeah.
me a few memes.
No, I sent you one meme and then you sent me three. So do you want to share the screen to show that for the audience?
Hang on. Let me share the screen. 1 second.
Oh yeah, you got to
Share.
show the one that I sent as well.
Oh
That
no,
one's
that's the one. That's the first one I'm gonna show you. All right. I'm so sorry we're exposing our WhatsApp conversation. Can you see this?
yes.
Oh yeah. Then you finally convert to Islam, so you can oppress homosexuals and females without fear of being cancelled by liberals. And it's Thanos saying, a small price to pay for salvation.
I think this is Sajid Lipham's life story.
Definitely. Um, I think no. I think we shared this already.
Yeah.
Oh, this comment. There was a comment I wanted to share, and someone was arguing that this is another incident. I remember I talked about Asma bint Marwan's murder. So what I'll do is I'll read this incident as well. It's yeah, some of these crazy comments are turning out to be quite intellectual. It's weird. Um, so he is a fellow apostate as well. He quotes Al-Waqidi al-Maghazi, where he's talking about how Muhammad orders or gets he justifies killing of his critics. So this is another incident. Well, again, it's the same story but from a different author. Abdullah ibn Haris told me from his father that Asma bint Marwan from Banu Umayyad ibn Zayd was married to Yazid ibn Zayd ibn Hisn al-Khatmi. She used to revile the Prophet, blessings and peace be upon him, criticize Islam, and incite people against the Prophet. When the news, what she said, and her incitement of the people reached Umar ibn Adi ibn Kharasha ibn Umayyah al-Khatmi, he said, "O Allah, I make a vow to you that I shall kill her if you grant a safe return to Medina to the messenger." As the messenger was in Badr at that time, when the messenger of Allah came back from Badr, Umar came to her in the middle of the night, entered upon her in her house when she had a group of her children sleeping around her, including an infant who was still being breastfed. So an infant was still being breastfed. Let's see what happens. Still being breastfed. He reached out to touch her and found the infant whom she was breastfeeding. He pushed the child aside and then plunged the sword into her chest until it came out of her back. Then he went out and prayed Fajr. and the Prophet, with the Prophet in Medina. When the Prophet, peace be, finished praying, he looked at Umar and said, "Did you kill the daughter of Marwan?" He said, "Yes. May my father be sacrificed for you, O Messenger of Allah." Umar was afraid that the Prophet would not approve of his killing her. So he said, "Is there any sin for me on me, O Messenger of Allah?" And then he responds saying, "The validity of what you have done is something that no one could dispute." The validity of what you've done is so no one could do. And this is the first time I heard the phrase from the Prophet. Umar said, the Prophet turned to those who were around him and said, "If you want to see a man who supported Allah and His Messenger, then look at Umar ibn Adi." So this man was, quote unquote, literally went to a woman's house who was just reciting poem against Muhammad, went to his house, pushed the children aside, one of them being breastfed, and stabbed her so deep, like the sword came, or the blade came out from her back, and then went, and he's forgiven. This is this is a precedent it sends to the believers that, hey, we can get away with this because this is divinely ordained. So that in itself, it's fucking, like, sorry, I'm going to use the word. This is why it's fucking so fucking messed up, because there's example after example of this, justifying, just saying anything against Prophet, and then they can just go apeshit and kill somebody and get away with it. So yeah, I think we were supposed to do the Zakir Naik video. Yes, the Zakir Naik video. Nick, I think we have the link to the Zakir Naik video.
Yes. I'll put in the private chat. My laptop's a bit slow today, so I might not be able to share.
Actually, I have the link. 1 second. 1 second. Let me just open the link.
Yeah, I got like 700 tabs open for like schoolwork. So
yeah, don't worry. Now I'm gonna share a screen. Let's see. Darn it, drastic. Don't make me drop F-bombs. And yes, Taco Bell, is it a Muslim invention? We'll find out.
Oh yeah, Moose. We should take gin and tonic to Syria.
Oh no.
I heard that place is the bomb.
All right, let's play. This is Zakir Naik talking about the fatwa of Imam Khomeini against Salman Rushdie. Now, someone asks him if it's correct, so let's see this video.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yashar Payami. I'm from Iran, really, and I want to know exactly is that you must have read Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses, and as a Muslim, nobody would have liked that book. So, what do you think Imam Khomeini did was? What he did was correct, asking for the people for fatwa. That is my main point. What Imam Khomeini had told about the fatwa against Salman Rushdie, was it correct or what?
Without the question that what Imam Khomeini said regarding the fatwa of Salman Rushdie, is it right or wrong?
Right or wrong?
The basic question is that why did Imam Khomeini give the fatwa 1 year later? The first country to ban the book of Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses was India.
Okay, you idiot. You fucking idiot. He's asking you, is the fatwa correct or not? He's not asking you when it was given. He's not exactly asking you that. So answer the damn question.
Yeah. And I congratulate.
But it was banned in India, correct, Nick?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
To Rajiv Gandhi for doing that act. Why should?
Oh yeah, Rajiv Gandhi.
Rajiv Gandhi is a fucking clown, and he shouldn't be trusted with anything.
That, and Rajiv Gandhi did that out of fear, because like people in India were already so scared. They predicted this. They predicted this outrage because they know the Muslim community there. So the Indian government was like, let's not stoke the fires here at all.
Could Khomeini give the fatwa of killing Salman Rushdie after 1 year? Because he was getting out of the news. All politicians, if he wanted to give the fatwa, he should have given. The book was reviewed by so many parts of the world, so many countries banned it, and then he gives the fatwa, he should be killed. Whether right or wrong is afterwards, all the political gains. All political gains.
He's not wrong here, but here's the problem. What if he read the book later? And he's trying to like not give Khomeini the credit, because I feel like what he's trying to do is because Khomeini is Shia, he hates that. He hates that Khomeini is going to get credit, and he doesn't want to say that Khomeini is right just because he's Shia. That's what Zakir Naik's game is.
Yeah, and just to address Doorknob Head's point here, so Rahul Gandhi likes to claim he's related to Gandhi, like
the original, the OG Gandhi.
Yeah, the Mahatma Gandhi. No, he's actually the grandson, I believe, of Nehru, right?
Oh yeah, the guy who slept with Lady Mountbatten.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And this guy has his mother, I believe, Indira Gandhi, was an absolute beast. She put a state of emergency. She did a lot of things in terms of like a Kashmir conflict. She was an absolute beast of a lady, whether you like it or not. But this guy's nothing more than a puppet.
And not only that, I remember that Indira had to make that deal with Zulfikar Ali Bhutto from Pakistan about the rivers and the land sharing. There was a lot of, Zulfikar had to really twist her hand into that. And then there was the issue of her declaring an operation against Sikh individuals, like the Sikh community. So the Sikh community despises Indira Gandhi because of what happened. There was an attack on the temple, that is. There was a genocide, a literal genocide that happened. So, yeah. By the way, we're joined by Zain Sami, the greatest WWE superstar. Zain Sami, how are you today?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. So, Zain Sami, did you get hit on the head enough during WWE to convert to Islam yet?
I didn't understand that. Sorry.
Oh, no. Did you get enough concussions in your pro wrestling career to convert to religion yet?
Okay, there's a problem here. Can you guys hear me properly?
We can hear you. We can hear you, but you can't.
Right. Well, until last week, you guys were not hearing me properly, but somehow it's kind of the opposite this time around. But what I've done is I bought me a new pair of headphones, and so I'm able to get through to you, but somehow I'm not hearing you too well.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm only going to stick around if there's a clear sound, though, because I heard last week's podcast. It was so disappointing. So.
Wait, who was? What did you hear from last week?
No, I mean, I just listened to some of it. My sound was, it was just not that good.
Yeah.
The output wasn't great. I did notice that my brother is on the thumbnail today. I love my brother.
Your brother, Zakir Naik.
Yes, my brother in Islam. I'm Syrian and he's Indian, but that doesn't matter, does it?
But hey, I think you've taken too many chair shots to the head. You've gotten too many suplexes, and you've gotten too many DDTs.
Yeah. Don't forget, my brother Kevin Owens also betrayed me.
Yes, your white brother betrayed you. Your white Kevin Owens Canadian brother betrayed you, and then you have this Zakir Naik over here, your Indian brother.
Yeah, and don't forget, the Beast Incarnate himself whooped my ass like nobody else's.
Well, Brock Lesnar is gonna. He liked you. He liked you at first, but then he's like,
he does?
Annoying.
I'm flattered.
Yeah,
guys. Just for the mercy of the audience, unless Brock Lesnar's converting to Islam, which I don't think he is, considering the steroids he uses, we got
Subhanallah, brother. Subhanallah.
Yeah, no, sorry.
That's because of my brother Zakir Naik. He converted him.
he converted the Canadian Saskatchewan farmer Brock Lesnar into Islam. That would be pretty funny, though. That would be very funny. But yeah, let's continue with the video. Let's continue with this video.
Okay. Okay. Look, I'm gonna try to do this as good as I can, but I can't hear you all that well. I have to say that.
Yeah. We'll try to be
Okay.
we'll try to be as loud as possible. All right, let's continue.
All right.
All
Continue.
these things are political games. But what Rajiv Gandhi did, maybe he didn't know about it. And I've given a talk on this issue of satanic verses. Though this book is banned in India, I've read that book. You know, Salman Rushdie, who claims.
Wait, so the book is banned in India. The book is banned in India. You still read it?
Wait, no. That's the biggest plot twist of the century. He actually read the book?
He actually read the book. Okay. But can he quote the book like he quotes other books? Like the way this guy quotes like a robot.
Wait, did he read it like he reads the Quran, or did he read it like he read his medical textbooks?
I don't know, man. I don't know. His medical history is a bit suspect at best.
Bro,
you know?
I wouldn't trust this guy to treat. I wouldn't even just trust this guy to like give me a prescription of Tylenol.
Yeah. Even if he gives you Tylenol, or which is basically painkillers, I would still not trust him.
Yeah, and like the thing with Tylenol is, right? You just tell the guy to open their mouth, toss the bottle at his mouth, and whatever goes in is the correct dosage.
Yeah.
Like, this guy still can't prescribe that properly.
Yeah, I doubt his ability to even prescribe that, because he failed at medicine, he failed at evolution and all that stuff. So, and he doesn't know what a theory is, and he doesn't know what the scientific, not the scientific definition of a theory, that is. All right, let's continue. But he read it. I'm happy.
For namesake is a Muslim. He did not leave anyone. In his book, even abuses Queen Elizabeth. And the same British government who had banned an American author for using a four-letter word, father, uncle, cousin, king, for the policy of Margaret Thatcher, that same Salman Rushdie, he makes it active and uses ink. And yet the book is very popular. So
father, uncle, see, he's trying to use the word fuck, but he can't, unfortunately. Poor Zakir. So, all right, let's continue.
American author, they banned because he uses a four-letter word for Margaret Thatcher. This another person, Salman Rushdie, makes it active, ing, for the same Margaret Thatcher's policy, but he gets an award. Why? Because he's maligning Islam, so they're very happy.
Oh boy. He got an award mainly because you guys were willing to kill him for it. Literally. They didn't even know how bad the book was. And he got the award years later. First, he had to get protection from the British government for 9 years. Like this guy, he was like saying, he's still playing victim. Still playing victim. All right.
And do you know, he even did not leave Ram and Sita. You know, these people are respected by the majority of the Indians.
Can you pause it for a sec?
I don't want to use that.
Yeah.
But Hindus aren't threatening to kill him.
Yeah, not yet. They haven't done that. Even though the book is banned in India, though. So I can kind of make a case for it, that the book was banned in India. But even then, the global population hasn't done a thing. Because there's a
difference between a ban, and then there's a difference, that and a bounty, right?
Yeah. There's a ban, but then there's a bounty. That's two different things, yeah.
That word. He abused them also, he don't leave them. And many of the people are supporting. So maybe Rajiv Gandhi didn't know. But later on, if you read that book, you realize he did not leave anyone. So if a person who keeps on maligning, etc., Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Ma'idah.
Oh no. Chapter 5.
Verse number 33. As to anyone who wages a war against Allah and His Messenger, there are various options given, that you can either execute him,
Yep.
crucify him, chop off opposite limbs, or take him out of the country. And this law is not only in the Quran, it is even in the Bible. If you read the book of Leviticus, it says that anyone who blasphemes the law, you should stone that person to death. Even a passerby who's a stranger.
Can you pause that and check that verse in Leviticus?
Yeah. No, Leviticus, I wouldn't be surprised. So Leviticus has chapter, let's see here.
The law.
Wait,
This
I
law
just...
is then all the religious scriptures, not only there.
Wait.
So this law is then all the religious scriptures, not
No,
only the
no.
passerby who's a stranger.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 24, verse 16. Okay, so Leviticus 24, 16. Yeah, so it is correct. It says, and that he that blasphemeth the name of the Lord, he shall surely be put to death, and all the congregation shall stone him, as well as the stranger, is that as he that is born in the land, when he blasphemeth the name of the Lord, shall be put to death. So even in Christianity and Judaism, this is here. So, like, that's why we say all the Abrahamic faiths, like, they're pretty messed up.
So, Moose, there's a comment here that you need to see.
Hang on. What's the comment? I love this pronoun game. It'll go, brother, bless. He is medical doctor. Allah, medical doctor. Well, I'm very disappointed in this medical doctor because he read the book. He read a satanic book. But he was just reading books. So, yeah, let's continue with what he says.
Should stone that person to death who blasphemes the law. So this law is then all the religious scriptures, not only there in Islam, in most of the religious scripture for blasphemy, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Islam, whether it be Judaism, for blasphemy, if it's a confirmed blasphemy, if it's that part of the country. We cannot give fatwas here, they should kill him, etc. If it's an Islamic state of law, if anyone blasphemeth, there are certain laws and rules and regulations laid down. But what politicians do, whether it be a Muslim politician or whether it be a non-Muslim politician, I'm sorry, I don't again want to hurt any politicians per se. If not all, I say majority. You find somewhere or the other they compromise for their own vote bank. And that's the reason that it is said that religion and politics, that pulls apart. They use religion as a plank to see to it that they get fame, etc. And that's what people do, which we people should be aware that the fatwa.
The irony that this guy uses religion as to fame. The irony of him saying that.
Given by Khomeini, it was just a political gimmick according to me. But banning the book, what Rajiv Gandhi did, was perfect. He banned it, he was the first. And now they're thinking of removing the ban. I don't know if the ban has come out or not. There's another statement that they're trying to remove the ban. But if anyone blasphemes the Lord in Islam, in Christianity, that person according to Christianity should be stoned to death. In Islam, there are 4 options. You can even exile him. Christianity, no option. Christianity, only stoning to death. In Islam, there are 4 options you can choose. In Christianity, you have...
And all of them involve death or exile or death. Basically, you can kill them. And then I just stated the Sirah as well, too. Like, that has an example.
You have to stone that person to death.
Okay, first of all, sorry about that. I'll just stop sharing. He doesn't answer the question. The problem with Zakir Naik is he doesn't answer specifically the question. Was it right or wrong? He could have just said, no, it's wrong. But he wanted to go...
Moose, like, the one thing I have to say about him is that he's very accepting of Jewish rabbis because he takes their procedure in answering questions.
Yeah?
What happens after you die, Rabbi? What do you think happens?
But yeah, it's this man, I think he just did not want to give Khomeini the credit that, oh, he was correct. He did not want to say that because Zakir Naik hates Shia Muslims to the core. He hates Shia Muslims. So that's why he's not going to praise. He's going to praise Rajiv Gandhi instead, the clown, but he's not going to praise Khomeini, even though he's actually practically accomplishing his mission. Like, he practically united everybody to the cause. So, the irony of the situation.
I'm a little curious. Why was Khomeini the only one who issued that fatwa? Why did nobody else do it at the time?
Exactly. Khomeini is the first one not only to issue a fatwa, but also he was the one who put a bounty on him as well too. Like the Iranian government put a bounty.
Yeah, I mean, I heard this, I heard this story when I was a kid about all of this. Not in a lot of detail, but, my grandmother did tell me the story years ago that it was the Shah of Iran who did all of these things. Why was it only him and nobody else? I'm
Oh,
curious.
that even the Shah of Iran himself, like Shah of Iran, wasn't even like was gone after during that time during the fatwa. So Shah of Iran didn't do anything. So I like how your grandma's kind of like evading the Shah of Iran. No disrespect to your grandma, but it's not the Shah of Iran.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not I'm not sure that, she quoted it that way, but it's just the way that I remember it. That
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
supreme
yeah.
leader of Iran got involved.
Right. Okay. So the
Yeah.
supreme leader of Iran got involved. Yeah.
Yeah, but why
So
not anybody else? Why not the
yeah,
Saudis? Why not the
yeah,
Somalis? Why not Afghans?
yeah. They could have
Well,
got involved, but they
anyway,
didn't.
is the sound all right?
Yeah, yeah. Sounds all right.
All right, that's good then. So I've taken the headphones off. I'm sorry I cannot use them.
That's okay.
Okay, so we're done with this. Have you got anything else now?
No, no. Like you wanted to say something. You were in the middle of saying something with the Saudis.
Well, mainly it's just that because generally it is the all of the different types of Sunnis who get offended by blasphemy. They are the
Yeah.
ones who threaten violence. They are the ones who issue fatwas like this and oftentimes carry out acts like this. But in that occasion, it was a Shia nation which got involved, and everybody else kind of just followed their lead.
Yeah. Which was the
So
irony.
how did that come about?
And I think um, Zakir Naik might be correct on that. That this was political opportunism. Yes, but I think everybody, people starting praising Khomeini left, right, and center. That, hey, he's the champion of Islam, Ruhollah Khomeini. Not the
Well,
current one, but the last one, Ruhollah.
yeah. I also heard you say that
Ouch.
Zakir Naik hates Shia Muslims.
Oh,
Are you
definitely.
sure it's not the other way around?
Oh, there is also, it's definitely the other way around too, for sure,
Because
because he has said some very controversial statements against Shia Muslims as well.
does he? I've never heard those, but I have heard the Shia Muslims spew a lot of hate against him. Some
Yeah,
of them even declared him a kafir, and even some of them said that find him and kill him because he's showing sympathy
interesting.
towards someone who deserves no sympathy.
Oh, Yazid, right? He's
Yeah,
showing sympathy towards Yazid. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. No,
That
years ago.
happened. That was years ago. Yeah, that Yazid was right and Hussein was wrong, and the Shia Muslims were like,
I'm not
mad
sure
at
he
that.
said. I'm not sure he said that he was right, but he did say that Yazid, peace be upon him.
Yes. So he said he called him and Muawiyah, peace be upon him, as well too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
And that is not
yeah,
acceptable to him. And I think he said in English, right? He was giving an explanation of the Battle of Karbala and
yeah,
blah blah blah. He does everything, gives those references with the numbers and everything. And then he says, Yazid, may Allah be pleased with him. He did this and he did that. And the Shia Muslims just absolutely lost it. They said
oh
that
yeah.
guy's a kafir. Get him.
They
Someone
they
get
did
him.
kafir him, but then they didn't go to the lengths of like what they would do for Rushdie, right? They didn't go through that length. That is.
Okay, well, I do remember that there was a lot of hate.
There
He
was
he was
hate,
like,
yeah. I remember back in Pakistan, there was a lot of hate against him for that, and there was an uproar for sure. There was an uproar, but I don't know if it caught on for too long.
yeah.
It didn't catch on for too
From what I
long.
remember, Yazid is a character who said that Islam is indeed a false religion and Prophet Muhammad was a fake prophet. It's all fake. The Banu Hashim family just made it all up just so they could pursue their own personal interests, and
I
especially the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, I think he might have said something along the lines, though I haven't seen. He was kind of bragging like, "Where's your God now?" Right? Like he was,
Maybe.
and I think in the original account of the Karbala, I didn't know if he said it was made up, but I know other stories stated that he would say that it was made up. But if anything, he ordered he was a tyrant for sure, but he ordered the killing of like the grandson, right, during the Karbala battle.
Yes,
like,
but his rules, like
Mhm.
the Islam which he introduced afterwards, because obviously he was the leader now, he was the caliph. He
Yeah.
allowed, all kinds of things that were not allowed in Islam, like alcohol and sex and adultery and things like that,
Yeah.
and even sleeping with your own brothers and sisters.
Oh, yikes.
Allegedly, he allowed this. That's what the Shia
Yikes.
Muslims say.
Though this could be an exaggeration too. This could be a heavy exaggeration. It could be made up because there was no like rulings like that.
Yeah,
And
and my good Shia friend also told me that he said that it's all just a big lie. That Islam is a big lie. Prophet
now
Muhammad was just making all of it up.
I kind of now weirdly agree with him at this point. Weirdly enough, the irony we were in agreement with him
If that's true, if he said that.
if he said that again, assuming. But keep in mind, a lot of these accounts are because they're made up by Shia Muslims. They're very, you know, they exaggerate a lot of
Exaggerate, yeah,
things,
heavily exaggerated.
heavily
I've
exaggerate
noticed
the
that
yeah.
the Shia Muslims do a lot of exaggerating. And
Oh
I
yeah,
think that is to make up for the fact that their favorite guys always were on the losing side. In every single battle that was ever fought amongst the Muslims, and there were loads, their person was almost always on the losing side.
yeah.
And I think in order to make up for that, what they do is they exaggerate the um, the achievements that those people had, and
The
especially when they
achievement
say that.
and the tyranny of the other side. The tyranny of the other
Mm,
side is also
yeah,
exaggerated. Like how evil this is. How evil this is.
yeah, and they give these magic powers to Fatima, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, and they give
Oh, I
the magic
remember.
magic powers to her husband Ali, who is their man anyway, their favorite guy, and to Hassan and Hussein, and even to their sister. And it is documented that Hussein's sister went into Yazid's courtroom after Hussein's death, and she did some magic tricks there. Like she stopped the wind from coming out and
Oh
in and out of the
no.
room, and she stopped
Yeah.
the camels from moving their heads and
Oh
things like that.
no.
So
Oh
so they
my
were doing
goodness.
magic tricks. So according
Wow.
to the Shia narrative, the Ali Muhammad, which is supposed to be the descendants of the Prophet Muhammad, they were all capable of doing miracles and magic tricks.
That's so bullshit because if you actually read the original account, which is
Yeah.
history, nothing of that sort ever happened.
Well, of course
Like,
it didn't happen. Even the Prophet Muhammad is not supposed to have any miracles.
yeah.
Not even the guy himself. So why are his descendants able to do miracles like this?
Yeah, and then there's miracles, there's weird miracles like angels sitting between the believers and then flying away, you know, and people saw it, and heard these speeches, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we're literally
Yeah,
pulling
and
it out of your
also
ass.
there's
Literally
a
pulling
very
it out of your ass.
there's a very popular story that the Prophet Muhammad made a signal with his finger because Ali missed his Fajr prayer or something, and so he signaled with his finger to bring the sun back to where it needed to be so that Ali could do his prayer.
I thought the symbol of the finger was what split the moon.
That was a different thing, yeah.
Yeah, because apparently there's another story that he made a symbol and then the moon split. And
That
then
one's in the Quran.
no, that one's in the no, the Quran one's very vague, but then he's the Hadith one actually. This one's in the Hadith. Um, and then there's the
Maybe it might be in the Hadith, but there is
yeah,
a
yeah,
Quran verse which says,
the
"The
moon will
hour
be
has
split.
come and the moon is split into two,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
who don't want to believe, they still continue to not believe."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So there is a mention in the Quran.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is that mention, and then he's talking about the hour, and then there's also, I think, yeah, that I wouldn't be surprised if that's a story that exists that the sun was stopped.
Yeah, but
Just
but
for
that
Ali
is
to wake up.
just for him, a special privilege to him, which nobody else had. Only
Yeah,
his descendants and his close family had that privilege. Not companions, family. Only his
yeah.
family had those privileges.
Oh, by the way,
They
Aisha doesn't count as part of the family.
No,
Sorry.
not at all. Not at all. Even though he's the favorite wife, but she does not count at all.
She does not count. She does not have any of these special powers,
Yeah.
and she was a bad wife.
Well, horrible wife.
Yeah,
Allegedly, she even tried poisoning him.
yeah, yeah. Allegedly, allegedly.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
what if she did? What if she actually did?
you know what? When it comes to the poison thing, I actually have to say that this story is more plausible than the Khyber one, where a Jewish
Yeah.
woman poisons him and he dies 4 years later. I think
Whereas,
this one is more plausible.
yeah, because again, Aisha would be fed up of the abuse and everything, right?
Yeah.
And
A lot
it's
of people were fed up. His close
ah,
companions, his family. And Aisha also said one time that Allah seems to fulfill your desires very quickly.
yeah, and she was like, something's up. Like she was
Yeah, like
literally
what the
knowing,
fuck, man? He just
yeah,
asks for something and he just gets it just like that. He
yeah. So
want
she
he
was,
wants to fuck a girl and Allah snaps his finger and bam, she's just right there in front of him.
yeah. So
So what the heck?
if anything, we might have found a suspect in Muhammad's killer being Aisha. Hmm.
Yep, and Aisha was the one who narrated the hadith, which says that Muhammad said that the poison at Khaybar is killing me. I
Interesting.
Yeah, Aisha narrated it. So Aisha is the one
Interesting.
who said that Muhammad said that the poison at Khaybar is killing me. So what if the person telling you is lying? And what if he never
Yeah.
said that?
Interesting. Interesting. Could be the poison she had given him, you know?
Yeah, and in this movie, the one that we've been talking about in recent weeks, the one that was banned,
The Lady of Heaven, right? The Lady of
that's
Heaven
correct. Yeah.
movie?
Yes. In that movie, they have shown that it is Aisha who went up to him while he was sleeping and put poison in his mouth.
Really?
Yeah,
In the
it's been
Shia
shown.
narrative. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
been shown. In the film. Have you seen the film at
I
all?
haven't seen the film. Again, it's very difficult to access.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
I've seen clips of it, little clips.
yeah, but that's interesting. So, So, and what might have the poison been? I don't know. Maybe wolf's bane? I don't know. Like something in the desert, maybe? Something that grows in the desert? I don't know,
She was
man.
a clever girl. I'm sure she
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah, she probably figured out. But yeah, her putting the poison. She's an
Yeah,
interesting suspect.
yeah.
This
And by the
makes
way, this film is
It
actually a
might
little
be
bit.
facts and logic as well. That generally kills people.
That's true.
Ah,
That's true. Facts and
yeah.
logic.
That gives them
Yeah, no.
a
If
painful
if
death.
that doesn't kill people, why do I see all these YouTube clickbait titles that say "facts and logic destroys so and so person"?
It gives them a painful death.
Yeah,
Doesn't
you
just kill
can.
them.
It destroys, or David Wood destroyed, or Muhammad Hijab destroyed, or Ben Shapiro. Oh, Ben Shapiro is the most famous one. Ben
What about
Shapiro
my
started
boy
this.
Ali D, man?
Ali Dava destroys. Ben Shapiro, is that you?
Ali Dawah destroyed someone.
Yeah, he
Who did
destroyed
Ali
an
Dawah destroy?
atheist. He destroyed a Hindu. He destroyed, God knows who he destroyed, or whatever the gods know who he destroyed, or whatever that entity is.
By the way,
Anyway,
don't watch this movie. Don't watch it. It's actually quite a racist movie.
I still want to watch it. I'm still gonna watch it. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it because,
It's yeah. When you see the movie, you do go ahead. I'm joking, but you will notice that it's a racist movie because all the good guys have been depicted as shining and white and glowy, and all of the bad guys have been shown as extremely dark-skinned people with
yeah.
mushy beards and fucked up hair and
Though,
ugly people.
though,
Um,
to be
so
fair,
I
Abu
do find
Bakr,
that a little bit racist.
as much as racist as I found, I really find that weirdly attractive. The mushy beard and the
Okay.
and
Zulkarnain, I have to ask though, do you
Uh-huh.
rate the movie at least 9 out of 11?
9 out of 11. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I see what you did there. Good one, good one.
but
Oh, nice one. Nice one.
My
well,
The British style.
It's my attempt at a bad joke. Well, we're Canadian as well, right? So it's not my country. I don't give a shit.
yeah, we're right across the border, so
Hey,
um,
they're the leader of the free world. Let's not forget.
yeah, we have a free leader of the free world.
Oh yeah, no, they're the leader of the free world, but women don't have the right to do whatever they want with their body, and the
Oh,
only freedom that you have is to hold a gun.
I
good,
think for
good point.
Puya,
Good point.
yeah, Puya, Aisha lived with Muhammad in Medina. So this is in Saudi Arabia, Medina. So I think the Medina region is where Muhammad died. So not in Mecca, but in Medina. So this might actually narrow down if you're trying to look for poison status. This might narrow it down. Um, but yeah, it's definitely that movie. I'm still checking it out because they do that light shining thing on the face, right? Like it's shining bright, and all the characters are like it's this glowing light, right?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
boy.
odd that all of them grow up in the exact same environment, in the exact same desert of Arabia. But somehow the good guys are shiny and glowy and white, and the bad guys are not well groomed and dark skinned, not glowy. So, I mean, is that supposed to make sense?
It's been in Shia art too. Like they always present, and this is weird obsession of like making them look white, and yeah, there is this bit of racism there. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of racism in that.
Yeah, I also had some ideas for future podcasts. Have you seen them?
Which
You
ideas did you
considered
have?
them?
Which ideas did you have?
I really wanted to talk about the future of the ex-Muslim movement.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be a good topic for a future video. Yes.
That can actually be, if we can stop. I know is watching this for the 500th episode. I think it's November 19th according to drastic measures. I'll have to sit down and do a count again. Stops, if you can join us on that day, get a few of the other co-panelists. We'll have a Zane as well. We can have that as a discussion. The future of ex-Muslims for the 500th
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
that would
because
be an
you don't, it's good to be optimistic, but I also have been thinking, the Muslim community is fucking massive, and
yeah.
they've got a very, very high birth rate as well. So I've just been thinking about it lately, and I'm thinking, are we winning or are we losing, or are we,
Well,
kind of,
Richard
is it
Dawkins
something in
puts it
between?
best. Richard Dawkins puts it best. Getting like atheists, agnostics, free thinkers together is like getting a bunch of cats together.
Yeah, because we don't have a doctrine.
Yeah, we don't have a doctrine. We're all very independent. So it's going to be very difficult. But he did say something. Lots of cats can make good noise, enough noise, if we gather a lot of cats. So the more cats there are, there's going to be a lot of noise.
Yeah, but I do want to, talk about this in detail and
Definitely.
get the views of all of you and hopefully some audience members too. And I do want to try to understand where this world is going. Obviously, you can't know for sure what the future is, but
Yeah. Absolutely.
I do want to think about it
Absolutely.
out loud.
You're absolutely right there, saying because we're not all prophets, so we can't really tell what the future holds for us.
Good
And I
point,
think,
brother. Good point.
and brother makes a good point. Also, I think Nick, you had a comment you wanted to see in that Zakir Naik video.
Oh no, that was the comment that we did in the beginning.
Really, that was the
Yeah.
comment. The prophecy. Oh, that
Yeah,
just
that was
melted my brain. That
Yeah.
literally melted my brain. There was another video I wanted to do about the There was something to do with
Nikah mutta?
Wait, hang on. There's a BBC. There was a documentary that, remember the one which the guy started tearing up the book.
Yeah.
That one. I wanted to react to that.
Okay.
Whoops.
I think that's something to do with Rushdie, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Definitely.
So I have. Let me just share the screen. I think it's this one. Let me share the screen. Share screen. There's this Chrome tab. Yeah, the video is titled. It's by Norwegian, Godless Norwegian. I hate this intro. There we go.
Find out how much the world has moved on and assess the strength of feeling 30 years on.
Not that loud.
Your opinion on something. Do you know what that is? No, it's rubbish. Why is it rubbish? Would people be willing today to have a discussion with me about the content of the book?
This book, no, I've never read.
Tell me what you think about this sentence. Or you don't want it, no problem. This is a book by Salman Rushdie, published 30 years ago, and it's a novel, so it's meant to be a work of fiction.
Yeah. The 15-year-old or Aisha was the most popular with the paying public, just as her namesake was with Mahmoud.
So the prostitutes are named after the wives of the Prophet.
Yeah. He's trying to say it, but at the same time, he's trying to not say it.
I mean,
say it like a fictional way.
You don't seem that offended. Do you think it's up for grabs? It's alright for people to write stuff.
No. It's not alright.
You don't. Why not?
I feel like there should be limits upon what you write and boundaries in order to keep respect. And if that's not met, then I don't really agree with it. I do find it offensive because at the end of the day, if it is about Islam, then that's about my religion. Yeah. And about so many other people's religion, that it's normal for people to find offensive.
Can you pause that for a sec?
Yeah.
So first of all, they're in a secular country of England. They're not in an Islamic country. They're not under Sharia law. This freedom of speech and freedom of religion is what allows them to be in England wearing a hijab outside in public for their choice. If they can do that, then we can critique the idea.
And not only that, it's a proselytizing religion. Like the religion itself tries to impose itself, tries to get converts. Be ready to get attacked for trying to get converts, because we're going to rip you apart. I'm going to stuff another F-bomb. We're going to fucking rip you apart. But yeah, I think the whores, so the content is the whores are named after the wives of Muhammad. And yeah, it's, they get, at least the girls have maintained their cool, that they're saying they're not okay, but they're not like, aggressive. So I still
Did you say the whores are named after the wives of Muhammad?
Yeah.
There are whores in the book.
Yeah.
And they're named after Muhammad's wives, like Aisha or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I get what the whole fuss is about.
Yeah.
Finally.
Everything that's said and put out there.
Oh, this guy, this man right here. Keep your eyes on this man.
Why does he look familiar?
Do you know it?
Yeah.
Do you know this man? Huh? Says Zayn, you know this man?
I think I do.
As well, one thing.
Yeah.
Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know who this guy is. Moose, you might know of him. He's named after Lord Ram, yet no Hindu is killing him for that rape conviction that he had.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, honestly.
I got a long history with that. I got arrested on them riots.
No way! So were you at the demo here?
So this man was arrested on the riot. He was one of the riot guys causing a fuss.
His accent is
What about the book burning? Did you see that?
I was here. Who are you? Have you read it?
I've read it.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? So I'm from Huddersfield.
Right.
Live in London.
Right. And how come you're holding the satanic verses?
Do you think I shouldn't be holding it?
I'm not. No comment.
So what you meant when you said where you from? You meant are you Muslim, didn't you? That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like very like, dog whistle type of, and look at that aggressive look,
So would it make a difference if I was Muslim? I mean, I am Muslim. But you think as a Muslim I shouldn't be holding the book?
No.
Will you read this then?
Yeah.
And will you tell me what you think?
Yeah.
You're not going to get angry?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh no. Will you get angry? No, I won't. Okay, let's see how this acts
No,
out.
do you know what this reminds me of? Yo, pause.
Yeah.
This scene's like one of those like weird teen coming of age movies. Hey, with like the cheerleader and the football guy, like, hey babe, you promise you can pull out? Plot twist, he doesn't pull out. Same thing, this guy, like, are you gonna get angry? Plot twist, he gets angry.
Oh god. He's a desi uncle, man.
I mean, pause behind the curtain, 12 again.
Does that mean anything to you?
Devil worship. The curtain is the curtain on the day of judgment that is lifted when you go to finger and the horse at the end, the wives, the Muslims up in heaven.
Is that what he's talking about?
Come and talk to me. Why you want to
Yo,
know?
pause that for a second. Are we all devil worshippers because of that shit?
Yeah.
He got triggered like fuck. Oh my god.
Yeah,
He's
at
on.
this moment, he's at the edge. He's climaxing, but he's trying to pull out.
Yeah, he's trying to pull up, but we have to see. Wait, what he's gonna do?
I need educate. Come and talk to educate
Yeah, I hate when they say, "Oh, you need education," and then pull out. It's like, educate me then.
me then.
I encountered a wide range of reactions in the square that day. But what about the man who bought the book Salt in Petrol to the square 30 years ago? How does he feel looking back?
Oh, this is the Imam. The
What do you think the legacy is of what you did here with the book?
he put petrol on the book.
The government didn't listen. The book is still there. What it did do is to raise awareness about the feelings of Muslims in the community, so that the community of other authors don't write similar book about Muslims. We end up in a similar situation again. So by burning one book, what we did was to promote peace at that time.
How are you promoting peace by burning a book? Tell me, how do you promote peace by burning a book?
Their definition of peace is different. That's how.
Like, when he says we are promoting VRP, it's like, what? You just burned a fucking book. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Also, sorry, this is the episode I'm throwing the most F-bombs, but like, I apologize to the audience.
Do you see the kind of contradiction there? Like saying we were promoting peace by burning a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great job, Mubin.
That sentence, that it doesn't trip off the tongue nicely. Do you see that?
Oh, no, I disagree, because our aim was not creating problems. It was to bring peace in the city.
Oh, our aim was not to create problems. You created problems, dumbass.
And yes, we burned the book. The feelings of the people are inflamed, non-Muslim, Muslim as well, you can say.
Not exactly all non-Muslims. Like, we weren't exactly burning books.
But then we set the agenda. We said, look, this is our issue. It is sad, unfortunately, because I feel that the media could have played a better role in handling.
Look at him trying to like deflect the issue. The media could have played a better role. What about you? What about you fuckers?
The situation.
No, but Mohammed, what I'm really asking is, using a word like "unfortunately" suggests it just happened. It didn't just happen. Like, you soaked a book in paraffin and set fire to it. So what I'm saying is there a bit of you that thinks we went too far?
Perhaps it inflamed the feeling of.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did you go too far? And Mubin is still being nice. I would have been rough with this guy. Mubin is still being way too nice.
People in the community, and if it did do that, we feel sorry for that. We didn't intend to.
Dumbass. We didn't intend to.
Cause that.
Now he's realizing
that hurt. Perhaps we did go a bit far. Perhaps not. I don't know.
Like, he doesn't know if he went too far or not. So like, he doesn't want to admit that they're wrong. There's that feeling like we don't want to admit we're wrong, but we are wrong. He knows that we're wrong. He knows that. He just doesn't want to admit it. Either he's going to get crap for it, for admitting that they were wrong, or it's the ego, one or the other. But it could also be that he doesn't want to piss off other of his followers either.
There's a sense of reluctant regret here.
Yeah, reluctant
but
regret.
For some, there's also a simmering anger that's as strong now as it was 30 years ago.
Excuse me, something from your eye. Have you got a second? The author said it's a critique of religion. That's useful.
This, the moment, the legendary moment.
Oh, come on, then. Come on, then. Come on, then. You fucking bastard. Come on, then. In the book. Can I have my book back? In the book. No, in the book, no. Come on,
Hey, fuck you! Hey, fuck you!
Fuck you.
Burn the boat! Fuck you! Wait, pause for a second. Is he allowed to
Did
say
he-
that stuff?
This reminds me of that video. Fuck you, bloody. Bloody.
Yeah. And no, did he use the word the N word there? Did he use the N word?
I don't know.
I don't know. Did he use the N word?
Might
Yeah, he did. He did. Fuck you, N word. Yeah,
Can
yeah,
we
he did.
can we hear it one more time?
One more time. Yeah, fuck
Defo,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Enders. Yep, fuck you. Yeah,
He
yeah,
lost it.
did.
He lost it.
He lost it, and he literally lost it to the extent that he used the N word. So, yeah.
There we go. Social justice.
And then this guy. Shoot him off right now. Shut the fuck up, dude.
That's why they want to do bullshit with you. You can record, you can put it over BBC Media, I don't give a fucking shit. You know you could do Bradford, okay, Muslim girl, trying to say that.
Muslim ghetto. What the hell is a Muslim ghetto?
There are those in England.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
there's
you're.
Muslim-dominated areas. Yes.
But
There
why
are-
is
What
it called a
fucking gets
ghetto?
me?
Yeah?
I don't. Probably to sound kind of posh, I guess.
I don't know. It doesn't sound posh. It sounds more like street, if anything.
Yeah, street. There you go. That's the better word.
Yeah. You were saying, Nick? You were saying
I was
something?
just saying, but no matter where the fuck you are, like, you're still in London or you're still in England or Europe.
Yeah, you're in free country. You're not exactly,
Yeah, but that's just an unfortunate reality. There are Muslim-dominated areas in England, and when I say Muslim-dominated, I don't just mean that the majority people who live there are Muslim. That's fine. You can have an area where you are the majority, but that's different. But in London, there are actually areas where they don't allow non-Muslims to go, and if they should go,
Really?
they kind of have to follow a certain protocol.
What
And
the
they can never
hell?
say, yeah, like they have to kind of behave in an Islamic way, and if they're ever given any instruction, they have to follow it ASAP, and that includes that, if they tell them to leave the area or whatever, they have to comply, and if they don't, then they get
What the
physical.
hell? Okay,
There
so
are,
this is so insane. This is why we need to no wonder why people are calling British the liberal system spineless, because you're giving them too much. Okay, this is where I say no. And I think there was a news item where Norway was banning, not establishing the ghetto, like they were moving immigrants around. People said it was racist, but now I get it. Now I kind of get why Denmark is doing that. Not Norway, Denmark. I now get why Denmark is doing that. I get it now.
I think the key is that they distort what they're doing. When they talk about it with the authorities, or oftentimes police go there to kind of monitor them, what they do is they distort their own behavior. They say that, well, we are just protecting our interests because we're minorities. We're trying to represent our Muslim community because we feel underrepresented, and we are just trying to get people to respect our faith. That's kind of like how they tell the authorities about what they're doing. But what they're actually doing is a lot more. There is video evidence that they have threatened women to, kind of cover up. They have abused women who were not wearing hijab and, walked in that area. They said that, get out of the area right now. Otherwise, we're going to either beat you up or force you to cover up.
Yeah.
People were told to leave. They were said, they were told horrible things about themselves, about their families. And there was physical violence at times as well. And there was, they chant, like slogans like Muslims will take over this area and stuff like that. They do horrible things. I think one of them is called the London Muslim Patrol.
What?
Okay, I forgot the name. David Worth made a video about it years ago, 2015 or something. Yeah, he had a lot of video evidence of everything that they've been doing. And the name is London Muslim Patrol, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, and I know Culture Jenny is from that area. So if Culture Jenny, if you can, your internet's working all good. If you can jump on and actually explain to us as well, like Zane did, the ground zero type news, that's
Yeah, the
happening.
ground reality, yes.
Yeah, I would definitely love to hear it.
Yeah, I just googled it. It says a group of vigilantes calling themselves Muslim Patrols patrolled the streets in East London from 2013 to 14. They were young Sunni Muslim men, members of an organization that called itself the Sharia Project. Early in 2013, videos of their activities filmed by members of Patrol were, and then it kind of goes on to explain about some of the stuff that they did, which I have just already spoken about. And yeah, they target prostitutes and people drinking alcohol, people who are holding hands, couples, and women whom they considered to be dressed immodestly, and harassed others whom they perceived as being gay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just
so they're
no
doing this
wonder.
living in England.
No wonder why there's a lot of people coming into Canada as refugees because of shit like this. From England, we were surprised that people from the UK were coming to Canada as refugees. We were very surprised. And turns out, now I get it. Now I get it.
Yeah,
And
and
yes,
Moose, Cultured Jenny's on, so let's give the stage to Cultured Jenny. If you can just give us like the ground reality there as well.
In Sweden,
yes, in
because
Sweden.
Yes.
yeah, because certain areas in Sweden, the problem is that these areas are not officially here there are officially different rules or laws, but unofficially you have gangs and various organizations that almost act like local enforcers of various rules.
Interesting. So they were enforcing rules in areas of Sweden as well.
Yes.
Which cities do you recall?
Malmo. I've
Malmo,
been to
okay.
some of those areas
Really?
because that's it's just to me that's just a 20 minutes train ride and I'm in Malmo.
Wow. And even drastic measures says here that like
I have friends in those areas, just so you know.
yeah, it says there are no-go areas. There are some grooming gangs as well. And I know there was something about like, the gin possession thing. There was something about what do you call it? The Sharia patrols in London were stamped down quick in 2013. So wow, this is fairly recent. Um, so yeah, holy crap! Like this, no wonder why people from Europe. We were surprised that people from Europe were coming to Canada and were
I mean,
claiming
they
refugee
are
status.
limited to the more or less immigrant major neighborhoods. They
Hmm.
don't act outside of them. They are
Right.
very careful to act out because then the people would do an uproar and they would get the police to begin to crack down on them. At least I think that's the case. And
Oh,
but the
yeah.
thing is, as long as they act in those neighborhoods, they are pretty much left alone to act like that, which
Hmm.
actually scares me a bit.
Because it does
Because
end up
the
creating
thing is,
ghettos. Yeah.
yes, and it does end up creating a lot of resentment and hatred also from the majority society when you see certain groups begin to act apart from society with their own
Yeah.
systems of rules and even because indirectly these are laws if they are enforced by volunteers and vigilantism, so people taking the law in their own hands, and this
Yeah.
will lead into conflict in the future and I'm afraid how this will develop because
This
I'm
could lead
already
to
seeing tension. I'm seeing people getting fed up with this. And at the same time, you have people from the universities actually making excuses and other politicians and the like also making excuses. And people are just going to, close their ears and not listen at all. And then they will take drastic measures and it will go into, areas that are not, good to discuss.
yeah, and I think I see a similar route. Like this will end up something like Lebanon, for example. Lebanon had a similar situation, very diverse, but because they sort of isolated themselves into like different communities enforcing their own rules. This is what led to, conflict in
Yes,
Lebanon.
but there is one difference from Lebanon.
Hmm.
Firstly, in Lebanon, it was much more closer between the various groups, and
That's
also the power differential is much, much more in favor of the non-Muslims. So it's going to be a one-sided slaughter.
yeah, yeah.
This and the traditions and the structures and organizational, support for doing, more or less the things that I don't want to happen are in place. We can say a lot about European states, but they are
Hmm.
efficient at doing violence on an industrial scale.
Absolutely. And this could be disastrous, and this could be like, sure, we could end up having like human rights abuses and stuff too. So we
That's going to
really,
be the last thing that is going to
yeah.
be a problem if this goes very bad.
And that's why like I say, religions like this, like they should not be able to do this, like put them on a leash, literally, like
It's
push.
even for their own good, because if this continues, I can see that the
Mhm.
backlash can be far more, extreme. I'm already hearing people, normal, regular Swedes, talking about things that are actually scaring me a bit.
Mhm.
I want these to, be handled, and I want this to there to be a crackdown, but there has to be some sort of, it cannot be like a dam where you say, oh, we shouldn't crack down, and we must be tolerant, because eventually it will, the steam or the water will continue to rise up, and eventually the dam will crack, and then everything will go out of the dam and rush down and crush everything in its way.
My one of my mentors in professional wrestling, when I used to run wrestling shows, he said that you need to keep control of everything. Don't He said one quote that sticks with me and even applies today. Don't let the inmates run the asylum. Don't let them run the asylum. You're the boss. Run the asylum yourself. So it kind of is very similar. Like the inmates are running the asylum in many areas. So yeah, it's tough. And yeah, we drastic measures says we still have a teacher in hiding for using a cartoon of Muhammad in class. Was teaching a Muslim in a Muslim majority area in north of England. Wow, just wow. This is insane. This is insanity. Culture Ginny, you wish to say something?
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that the problem is that if we continue on this road, what I'm seeing in Sweden, I think Denmark is on the right way, because they are beginning to
Mm.
really crack down upon this, and they are taking away money from mosques. They
Yeah.
don't support them with various monetary funds if they don't have at least some basal agreements of. It's not that I think that we should take away funding that is available to all denominations and religions if they, for example, pray or teaching that homosexuals are going to hell or something, because that is in the afterlife. But when they begin to preach that they should break the law in the now
Yeah.
and do illegal things, then I think we need to take away the funding, and we need to crack down upon it.
Yeah, and I think especially in the states when they crack down on some of the cults, that is similar has to happen here in Europe, like parts of Europe, that is. And I think that they're also well, like what well, at least given what you guys have told me, this is kind of shocking for me. This is new information for me. And like now I see that I agree Denmark is on the right, like, and France is on the right. Like now I would kind of agree with this what Denmark is doing, because I saw it in the news. It's like, oh, they're moving the areas because Muslim majority areas, like they're restricting what can become a Muslim majority. It seems discriminatory on the surface, but when you kind of dig in, it's like, oh, so this stuff is happening.
And
So it's
a lot of my friends are also, almost in favor of this, and they are immigrants because they want to live secular lives, or they don't want these people to, determine what is right and wrong.
exactly, like you came here for a reason. You came here for secular, and never we shouldn't give like beliefs like this or cults like this any space. You give them an inch, they'll take a foot away from you.
Because
Like,
it's not just cults, it's also that, they mask a lot of activities that I would also guess that a lot of these things they do aren't actually about religion. The religion is just a cover in order to act like a thug.
well, keep in mind the religion even
It's
encourages
both.
you to.
Yes, yes.
Encourages you to be a thug. It
Yeah,
encourages, like, even for example, we've had the situation with the LDS, like it encouraged them to be like thugs, and it
yeah, I don't
encouraged
say
them.
that it's not the other way around. I'm saying that it's both ways.
Definitely, like it becomes a cover for a lot of like crimes, like
For
trafficking.
example,
There's even a
Nikhil Mutta was
yeah.
actually, there was a lot of scandals because the Shia, 12-hour Shia community, to be
Mhm.
obvious, because the Nisaris thought it was very funny to point this out, that they don't have it. It was that they, had done these temporary marriages and gotten a
Yes.
lot of money. And
Yes.
this actually became a scandal recently in Sweden.
Not only in Sweden, it happens in Iraq as well too. Like the girls are sold out. It's like basically sounding like prostitution
Yeah,
with
but
the muta.
prostitution is illegal in Sweden.
Yeah, and keep in mind with the muta marriage, because it's a recognized marriage, you can even last this marriage as long as 20 minutes too. So the marriage, because it's a temporary marriage, you can even use it for sex. So in the muta, this has become kind of like in a way they're pimping out girls in a way, and this happened. And the Shia community that I am from, they were like, "Oh, this is the West, the evil West, or the foreign powers are trying to make Shia Muslims look bad, and this is propaganda." But when I looked into it, this happens. This shit
Yes.
actually happens, and it's not propaganda. They're addressing the facts, and you are not willing to listen. And there was another Shia incident in Canada where you had an imam. He's still on what do you call it? He was arrested. He tried to leave the country because he was arrested for a sexual assault, and this assault happened during a ritual, the taking out the jinn ritual, or the exorcism, that is. So he was arrested at the airport. The
I do
Shia,
think that there are actually legal proceedings against some people for pimping right now, but I'm
yeah,
not entirely sure.
yeah, I'd have to look into the criminal code as well. I know Sweden might have a different criminal code, and Canada
It's
has a
not
different.
it's not illegal to sell yourself. It's illegal
Mhm.
to buy or to pimp.
To pimp is illegal, yes.
Yes, because
Pimping is illegal.
that's a different crime
Yeah.
than to buy, and it carries actually quite steep consequences.
In Canada as well, you can't pimp and you can't buy or engage in. There's a broader term. They call it trade or commercial in sex services. That is. So there is, and that's why a lot of people, when they end up doing these transactions. I think I was reading some reports, some police reports, that they end up doing these transactions in cash. That is to kind of cover up, not leave a trace. And then there's also, like, to do adult work. There's even a license. There's a licensing apparently, which I want to look into as well. But yeah, there was someone in Canada who was crap. I'm all over the place because there's so many things. Sorry, Jenny. There's so many things that tie into this. There was someone I tried to report, was actually trying to do like exorcism, like putting like waterboarding people and all that stuff, and it's under the guise of exorcism, that is. And he was a Muslim too. So there are people who are doing this under the surface, and we need to put a leash on this, a big leash.
Though they did actually interview one of the women
In
because there was a program that showed this scandal, and they
yes,
actually interviewed one of the women, I remember, and there was more or less the argument there was, but why we are still, it's completely on both sides consensual. It just adds some money, and
yeah,
then you get into these debates about if it's not forced, is it, should it still be illegal? But I'd still say that you should follow the law, even if the law is stupid.
Yeah, and not only that, you need to. There are girls as young as
And I'm not
9
saying that the law is
in this
stupid in
trade.
this case. I'm just saying that you should
No,
follow it
no, girls as
within
young
reason.
Jinny, girls as young as 9 are involved in this trade. Like there was a recent report and a documentary about this. The girls as young as 9 get involved in this.
In this case, it wasn't actually underaged.
But in Iraq, for example, Iraq
Yeah,
and
in Iraq, but
yeah,
that's, you know,
but
that
you
was
never
another.
know. You never know. It could be happening here too. You never fucking know. And
Exactly.
you never know. It could reach that point and they could say, oh, it's consensual. They could make excuses for even 12, 13-year-olds who are under the age of consent. And we need to crack down on this. We really
Yes,
need
I agree.
to crack down, a major crackdown. And again, I was having this discussion with my brother. We agreed that there's two things definitely we need to crack down. Businesses, for sure, businesses, and religious organizations. These are the two major things we currently need to crack down on very badly.
Yeah, because the state has begun to withdraw in the
Exactly.
last
And
half
the
of the
state
century.
either has given the businesses too much freedom as well as the religions a little too much of a hand, where there should be more regulation, more, of a leash on these guys. So yeah, also moving is bad for normal. Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
Stops
sorry.
was moving. So yeah, he texted us too. It's yeah, so sorry, Stops. So he can watch the episode later. But definitely this is but we got distracted so much in this conversation. Let's continue with the video. Nick, let's continue with actually let me play the rest of the video.
Shit. How's that Muslim ghetto? I'm from down the road. I'm from Huddersfield.
I'm from down the road.
You go to a Muslim populated area, trying to say shit.
And he's saying I'm a Muslim too. So you're going. So it's not like he can pin the blame that he's an outsider.
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. When you're gonna get a response like that, be prepared. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Wow. Be prepared.
It's reasonable for someone to grab a book and start ripping it up. Yeah, they can.
Yeah,
they can. If you feel offended, you can burn the book. But the question is, what are you gonna do about it then? Have you heard of the satanic verses?
This man should be like, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, we're gonna fucking arrest you, piece of shit.
You destroyed someone's property.
Yeah.
I don't want to read the book.
And look at that lollipop and the cap and everything. It's like so like I'm gangster, but I'm also Muslim. But Islam is my race, and I'm a thug. It's like that kind of mentality. It's so.
You don't want to read it because what you've heard. Because of what I know. I know who that guy is. I know what he's about.
We have gotten a new.
We have a new arrival here, Zain Sami. Hello, Zain Sami.
Hello again.
Yes, so we're back into the video. Sorry, we kind of diverged a lot, but
that's all right. I did not run away. My phone's battery died.
Oh, that's why. I was like, it could have been some technical issue on your end.
Technical issue it was, yes.
Yes, because there was an immediate cutoff too. It was an immediate cutoff from there. But yeah, we're at this part of the yo boy at the, and I think Nick got technical issues as well. He got disconnected. So
whoops. Okay.
Yeah. Not your fault. Not your fault. I think it's on his end. He was telling me his internet's also being flimsy.
Yeah, no, I'm not a runaway guy, and neither is Nick.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
What's my name? What's his name? What's his name?
That's my name as well. There you go.
That's my name
as well.
Ahmed. What's his name?
Thank you for your time.
We'll call him Ahmed. That's what we'll call him.
And he burned it. Where is he? He's actually burned it. Yeah. Where is he burnt it? One of them. He's burning on the way.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been tearing it apart.
Nice.
Did you actually see him start a fire? It's got burn marks on it. He's actually set fire to it.
What was that guy's name? The guy who told the guy who kind of snatched the book and ran away with it.
I don't know his name. We don't know his name. We should find him.
Yeah, I mean, the age of that guy
I
It
think
says
it's
that
against YouTube toss to dox people, though.
The thing is with because he was also in the riot 30 years ago, he was arrested in the riot, so he does have a violent history. So even though Vido said he looks like a cuddly uncle, but when you look at his history, he has a violent history of getting arrested. So
Yeah, I mean, cuddly uncles like that do usually have violent histories, and then they end up becoming cuddly uncles.
yeah, they end up becoming cuddly uncles. And I think Nick has rejoined us. Hey, Nick. Hello, Nick. So
Well,
let's go.
at least Ahmad, what was that guy's name?
Mobeen or Emma, that guy.
Yeah, Ahmad. Yeah, is he gonna come back or no?
I don't know if he's gonna come back.
Can't see him.
Well,
I felt really
I miss him.
a bit odd walking through the square with the satanic verses, but I did not for a second think someone was going to get so offended that they grab it out of my hand and set fire to it. We're talking about something.
Wait, he actually set fire to it?
Yeah, like there were some burnt marks on the pages as well too when he poured it. So they found some. So he probably had a lighter somewhere. You know, he had a lighter and he just set it on fire.
To understand that level, that kind of visceral response, I don't get it. I do not get it. I keep looking over my back because I think he's gonna come back in a second.
Yeah,
I felt
do that,
like-
man.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I want to hug Mobeen because he's about to cry. That is, I'm like, my boy, it's okay, This shit happens.
No, I mean, look, they've snatched the book from him.
Yeah,
They've tried burning it, and they've given him a hard time verbally. So
literally, yeah, verbally.
Hey,
Take.
Moose, I got an idea. Why don't we try this near Square One or downtown Toronto?
Oh no, I don't want to lose my book.
Hey, I bought you enough books. I can probably buy this one too.
No, this one's a precious. I need to read it. Okay, we're probably gonna try it. We're gonna try it, maybe. But yeah, let's plan this out. Okay, we need some backup.
Yeah.
We need to have some backup. Like we need to talk to security as well. We're gonna have to talk to security, and we're gonna have to talk to some police probably. Cause
and also, speaking of books, did you tell Zane what I did for you?
Oh no! Wait, which book did you get me?
No, not this one, but like the previous ones. The package you got last week.
Yes, he sent me the book of like the basics of the Quran and the basics of like Islam. Man sent me like the 5-year-old version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the basics of the Quran.
Yes, and he's also
Okay.
sending me Hamza's sources as well as Muhammad Hijab's books. Man's been trolling me like this because he orders books at my place, and
Yeah,
just
well,
like
he's giving you the gift of eternal life, the gift of salvation.
Yeah, so Zane, just so you know, like I automatically, once I get my paycheck, the first thing I do is I buy Moose a book and I ship it to his address without knowing.
Oh man, and doesn't even tell me. Man, there's this level of a troll he doesn't tell me.
Yeah, he
like,
cares about
why
your
am I-
afterlife, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like, where is this package? Did I order something? And it's like, oh no, Nick, what did you do? And then Nick's message comes, oh, did this package arrive? I have a gift for you. It's like,
Well,
it's not even my birthday.
Are you trying to help him get to heaven? Or are you trying to get him to hell in a different religion?
No, I'm trying to give him. I'm doing research. I need someone. I don't want to kill myself and go to heaven or hell to see what's going on. So I'm trying to give Moose a brain aneurysm, send him there so he can give me the first-hand experience.
You know, I actually believe in hell. I've been there. It's called Arabic Twitter.
Right. No, I haven't seen that. I'd love to go
Oh yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, no.
Do they have women there? I'm asking for a friend.
Women on Arabic Twitter.
You don't want to meet them.
How do you know that?
Of course, I've been tweeting in Arabic on one of my accounts.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah. Oh no! It's basically. Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to share with anyone.
Zane, So I'll tell you the backstory of this before. There was actually this group of Chechen women that actually catfished ISIS. So Arabic hell is basically you're going to get catfished by a Chechen woman or a woman from Dagestan.
Of all the
From where?
Dagestan or Chechnya.
You're gonna get catfished.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take the chance. What if I like it?
Oh man.
Don't be desperate.
Don't be this desperate. We don't want you to lose money. We already have like the catfishing scandals going on. BBC Media already did this story, so you should know.
Yeah, no, I am definitely kidding. I am not desperate for Chechen women at all. I'm definitely kidding, everyone. All right.
All right, let's finish this up.
Yeah,
that
let's
does
finish.
not mean I want to shut down discussion. That does not mean I want to argue and fight with people. It does not mean that I want to curb someone else's rights.
Yeah, he's correct. Like, just because I'm offended by it doesn't mean I want to, curb someone else's rights. And yes, you've seen these wrestling recommendations. I am telling you in advance. Besides this, I'm watching a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also have an idea, Moose. Can we get Gin and Tonic registered as a church?
As a church? As a church. That's going to be interesting.
You want to make it a cult?
I just that's the masjid.
Are you a cultist?
Wait, hang on.
In Canada, so we have I know in America the rules, but in Canada, we have a place of congregation, which is my house. We have our weekly ritual, the show.
Yes, we have the weekly ritual. Well, even my house could be, technically, I would say your
so what
house.
Am I the security guard then?
Yes, you're the security guard. You're the designated security guard.
Taken from the structure of the KKK.
And I am the Mufti.
Yeah.
Yes, you're the Mufti.
You would be our Grand Dragon. And then you would be our Mufti Mink. Culture Jin.
Culture Jin is the Mufti. And yeah, I know in the Freemasons, we used to have the symbolism of like the guy standing outside with a sword in the Masonic thing. So Zayn could be something similar. We'll just hand him a sword and a gun, just in case,
Yeah, so our emblem will be Zayn standing like
those.
this.
I don't need those. I'm Zayn Sami.
Yes, okay. We'll hand you a steel chair instead. A steel chair. That way you can, or a microphone, so you can do as many haluva kicks as possible. Many haluva kicks. Yeah. So.
Also remember, when I talk, the world listens.
Yeah, and you're gonna have a documentary crew behind you. Also, I know we have an entire documentary crew, and observing all your guarding duties. So.
What about my beautiful long hair?
Your long hair. You have taped fists. We have to make sure your fists are taped at all times.
Yeah. Well, taped fists or not, I am the greatest WWE superstar of all time. Remember that.
But yeah, Moose, just think about this honestly. Can we become a church or a masjid?
No, we're not trying to be a church or masjid. I would want to be like a charitable organization, we could even do that. But we could, because you could do something like the Church of Satan as well too.
Because what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah.
Instead of me donating money to some bullshit charity, so this is actually something I've been doing my homework on quite a bit.
Yeah.
And this is something I want to talk about in the child marriage episode specifically. But there's this professor, there's this principal of the school who in Mandal, West Bengal. So 50, I believe it's 1 kilometer away from the Bengal border. Yeah, to a point where if you stand on the Bangladesh border, and if you stand on the roof of the school, you can actually see Bangladesh.
Wow.
And this man saved 50 girls from forced child marriages, all between the ages of 12 to 14, and raises them himself as their father figure. on a headmaster salary in West Bengal, in a small village.
Interesting.
So instead of donating to a bullshit charity, I want to register ourselves as a charity and hopefully help help him, at least me personally. So if he can somehow get into a charity and do that, I'd much prefer that than donating to some charity that's not doing dick.
That's true, and like a support base. Abdullah Samir is also in Canada, so I can try to get in touch with him as well.
Yeah.
In Canada. So
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
yeah, and I know you're all the way in the UK, but Zayn, we'll try to get you in Canada. We'll try to get you as a refugee here.
Oh, really? About Canada? What did I was reading something about Canada
Earlier today. Oh, yep, I remember. Do you know Asya Bibi?
Yes, she's in Canada.
Yes.
And
The day-
Asya Bibi is the convicted Christian who was convicted to death. And she had a mob behind her. So they had to hide her in Pakistan and bring her to Canada.
Yeah. I think she rotted in jail for about 9 years or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For blasphemy, which she never committed. All she said was that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and he gave his life for humanity. And what did your Prophet Muhammad ever do for humanity? That is what she said, more or less.
And it was in the
not
heat of
blasphemy, because that is literally a Christian belief.
And it was in an argument where they called her a dirty Christian, and they said, "Don't drink from this water."
Yeah, something like that.
This glass, and this heated up argument. So she's just defending herself and standing her ground.
Yeah, and what she said, all Christians say that and think that way. So why target that one Christian woman who lives in a Muslim country only because she's vulnerable? I mean, why not try doing that with a Christian that lives in the West?
Exactly.
And we'll see how brave you are.
Well, that, and there's also the Salman Tasir, the former governor of Punjab, got assassinated for standing up for her by his own guard.
Yeah, I mean, and he wasn't a blasphemer or even an apostate.
Yeah.
He was a Muslim, but he was only advocating for the rights of minorities.
Yeah.
And he was just very vocal about it, and a well-known politician and a filthy rich man as well.
Mm-hmm.
But just because he said that the blasphemy law is being misused here, his own guard shot him.
And he said that we need to revisit this, and we need to what do you call it? We need to amend it or make changes to it because this is too vague. He says that we need to change this because this is getting out of hand, and we're getting too many innocent people here.
He may even have used the word black law, which
Yes.
means that he totally disagrees with the law itself, which is 295C of the Penal Code.
295C.
He may have said that, or he may not have said that. I'm not too familiar with the detail. But his main goal was to help the vulnerable people who were being targeted constantly. And Asya Bibi was the main one. And he did go to the jail that she was in and visited her a number of times. And he made promises to her. He said that I'm going to do everything that I can to get you out of here.
Yeah.
And he died for it.
Yeah, got killed for it. And his killer was praised as a hero by many in the public. Many.
I mean, most Pakistanis were, they still see him as a hero.
I actually wanted to... Yeah, Nick, you had something?
I was just going to say, let's go on to Discord as well because we moved a lot from the topic. So I think this conversation would be great on Discord as well.
Yeah,
everyone.
I wanted to show one last thing. 1 second. Let me just show some comments if I have
I also had a little thought. Can I just express it?
Sure, yeah.
Look, those guys who were burning that book in the video we were watching just now, they were burning Salman Rushdie's book. They were burning it, why? Because it's offensive to them? What if a non-Muslim says the Quran is offensive to me because it's hate speech against me? I mean, it does call non-believers the worst of creatures, right? It does say that the Jews and Christians are your enemies. It does say never take Jews and Christians as your friends. It does say that Islam will dominate the whole world, no matter how much the pagans hate it, the pagans. And it does say a lot of other things about polytheists, which includes all people who worship any other god but the God of Abraham. So literally, there is, speech about many different groups of people, which they could easily perceive as offensive. So is it okay for them to do the same thing with the Quran?
Oh,
I'm
but you forget
just
one
asking.
thing. They have the right God.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
most important thing.
I forgot. My
Yeah.
bad.
Okay, before we go to Discord, I wanted to share a few comments from our lovely Pakistani status.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Window, let me just see where's the screenshot. There we go.
Read it in your accent, yeah?
Okay. So, can you guys see this? So this was
Yes.
after
Yes.
Rushdie was stabbed. After Rushdie was stabbed. So I screenshotted some of these. And Muhammad Shafi Ganai, whatever that is, it's like, what great news! And Express Tribune is the Pakistani newspaper. Says novelist was stabbed, right? And Adil Khan Marwa's like, just novelist? Seriously? And Sadia Nazar is like, I wish he had been able to see his terrible doing. And Muhu Gugu or Guju, whatever, what is up with these names? Muha Guju. He's like, insult the religion is not freedom of speakers. He got his work on the earth, but the big punishment will wait for him. Nalatullah. And then Ishaq is like, it's very important to respect someone's religion, beliefs, norms, and values. That's one part one. Now, let me show you the part two.
Even gays?
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him.
I will do that. I've taken note of his name. I'm gonna ask him.
Is this a?
I need to share his wisdom.
Can you guys see this? Okay, so Khalid over here is. Where is that window?
Do you have all of these windows on your taskbar?
Yes. Sorry, I have all these windows. I have so many of these windows. My apologies.
No, sorry, they're not windows. What are they, man? Icons.
Yes, I have all these icons. Yes.
Do you use them?
Which ones? The tabs?
Yeah, the ones at the bottom.
Where? Oh, the crap.
Those icons at the bottom.
Yeah. I again, it's just so many windows I've opened because of work related stuff and other stuff. So it's
I mean, I have the same.
Yeah, it's me.
If you work within law or academia or any work where you have to, have several sources, you have pretty much to have it like this.
Yeah, and I was also doing research on other stuff too, so it's like, which I do in my free time because I need a hobby.
Yeah, well, in bachelor's, I did not have, well, at least not that many.
But yeah, Khalid Kamal is like, he's in the situation because someone was trying to play God. He leave being God for God only. Someone please switch off the vent. They are wasting it, and please throw the vent in the garbage once it's done. So he's calling him garbage. Mehreen Qureshi is like, I don't know, but this is the first time I'm not feeling bad about such an incident. I'm not feeling bad. And Omar Afridi, not related to Shahid Afridi, I hope, he's like, good job. Who done it? And then Babar Hayat is like, attacker wasn't trained enough. And Muhammad Shafi is also like, great news. Yeah, again, same guy. And then there's more. I want to share. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 more windows. Sorry, guys. Should share the entire thing.
Yeah, I also want to add that the attacker, I think his name is Hadi Matar.
Yep, Hadi Matar.
Something like that. He denied doing it.
Yeah, he denies it. And sorry, guys, I'm gonna bring this up. So Meher Masood is like, good news. He deserves partially justice delivered to him by Rahul Hamid. And then Hamad Irshad, such an expert on free speech, saying, freedom of speech and hate speech are separate things. He did it on purpose and knew what he was doing. RIH, what the hell? May he remain disabled and suffer for the rest of his life. And then this Kamran Farooq is like, when you cannot fight with the pen, you kill with the sword. Sad
What?
face.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? When you cannot fight with the pen, you kill with the sword.
Yeah. That's exactly
fuck
what
is
he
that,
said.
man?
I just read that. That was a comment. And then there's Akhtar Habib, another expert on freedom of speech, says freedom of speech and expression, a widely misunderstood concept. It is a liberty, and one's liberty does not take over rights of any other. Though the act is condemnable, but this much expression is more condemnable.
I like the way you read it.
Yeah, more condemnable. And Aqib Malik said, that is why freedom of speech within boundaries, take it for granted and see how I can make you an example.
I wonder how he intends to discipline his ass.
Yeah, how does he deserve to be treated like this? And then there's like, he deserved this. And then Rashid Wahab Khan, it was justice. He created such unethical books. And then
Nice.
there's the last screenshot I have.
Yay.
All right, when you cannot fight, and this is response to when you cannot fight with the pen, you kill with the sword. And then this guy's like, yes, muscle. And then Kamran Farooq, he's in Urdu. Kaun bakal pan ke saath ladta hai? Bakal pen ke saath pan ke saath ladta hai? Like, you know, who fights with a pen?
Yeah.
And
So
then
it's okay then, yeah, to pull out my sword?
Yeah, so Kamran Farooq is, he also fought with the pen. Unfortunately, the pen was big, sharp, and edgy.
Is it okay for Israel to do that?
And he's like Sayyid Mayyid Uddin, inherently violent. Inherently. And I think he's pointing this out to this gentleman right here, inherently violent. So at least there's only one potential, again, not confirmed, potential voice of, you know, disagreement. I'm happy with that, but I'm also upset with this too. But yeah, I think we should.
But I mean, I've actually met a lot of more disagreements on the Arabic, you know, forums and the like that I didn't expect.
Jinni, this is the Pakistani forum.
Yes, I know, and I feel that you are more crazy than even the worst of the Arab world. And I'm just asking how.
It's sad that Pakistan is becoming probably the biggest hellhole in the world right now.
I know, because like with Pakistan itself, it's like even if you get arrested, you're not going to make it to court. You're probably either going to get shot in court, or and I actually want to do a list of incidents in Pakistan for an episode. But yeah, I think thank you guys so much for joining today. I think we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. So Culture Gin, we'll go with Zain. Do you have any final thoughts on the topic today before we jump to Discord?
I think we covered a lot, so nothing comes to mind. Looking forward to the next show.
Absolutely. And Ginny, you have any last words?
Yes, and a little bit of chilling for myself as well. The fatwa of Salman against Salman Rushdie that started this entire debacle and controversy that you see the result of, and have seen the result of in this show of the Gin and Tonic. I will, on this coming Sunday at 8 o'clock UK time, upload my video that will be about the context for that fatwa, discussing a bit of the history around it.
Absolutely. And that we look forward to that video. Absolutely. I would love to check that out. I really enjoyed your Ashura video. Definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed your child sacrifice. I enjoy your content. So please, people, whoever's watching, subscribe to Culture Jinni. Check out his content. He does not just religion, but he does other cultures, history, politics. So it's a wide variety of topics with Culture Jinni. So
Thank you so much, Zain. Thank you so much, Culture Ginny. I will see you guys at Discord.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
No problem. Bye.